Hi everyone, hope you well. This is CoinsKid. Just going on to Bitcoin. We're going to CoinsKid cruise. So the S&P 500 right now is ran into a brick wall, isn't it? We've got this target down here, basically at 1.618, around about 5871. Now I do think there's a chance here, given something that I'm looking at that's done something yesterday. I do think there's a chance that basically what we're going through since December here in this particular chart is an expanded flat correction before continuation to the upside, and there may actually be a clue that we are about to see this over the next few months here because of something that's happened yesterday. So I'll go through that with you in today's video, so stay tuned for that analysis. Basically, right on cue in December, as anticipated, we've got that correction of Bitcoin. Now I hold my hands up, I did think it was over with the S&P here and this breaking out to the upside. I did think it was over, but what I think we've seen in both Bitcoin, XRP and the S&P 500 is an expanded flat correction where we've had some kind of A into a B into a C. So that is my count at the moment in XRP and Bitcoin, and obviously S&P 500. We've just been an expanded flat correction since December last year, and the confluences within these charts, the S&P 500, Bitcoin and XRP VeChain, many charts, and I'll drop them in for you. So let's take a look at XRP and we'll drop Bitcoin in. So you can clearly see, if I zoom in right now, you can clearly see that all of the the cryptos began a correction way back there. The purple line here, this is VeChain, and obviously Bitcoin and XRP have had some kind of expanded flat correction. So I actually think that they're in the C wave right now. XRP, S&P 500, VeChain, Cardano, so on and so forth, they're in the C wave, and like all C waves, they get really nasty, and they do start to make people think you've entered some kind of bear market. But structurally going forward, what I need to see from the S&P 500 is what we saw here. Okay, so this is what I'm waiting for. We will see some kind of retracement rally, and then the next drop will give the game away whether or not you've entered a bear market. So the only thing we saw way back there obviously is the S&P 500 breaking down as well, which is the king of risk, but we've equally saw the CoinsKid retail top call the top just there. Okay, so I'll go through that in today's video with you as well, how successful that particular indicator is. So if we have entered a bear market here in December, it would mean typically sometime in late 2025 we should bottom in the S&P 500, potentially on this swing high around about 4818. That would be my primary target for your buyback on the S&P 500, and equally Bitcoin should bottom in its bear market or correction, whatever, roughly December 2025 as a possibility if we've entered the bear market. But the only bearish thing I see is obviously what we've done for the S&P 500. We broke out here in January of 2023. Amazing time for anyone that's been with the channel. This is where I flipped incredibly bullish on Bitcoin and XRP and this chart, looking for the 1.618 at least in the next impulsive move. So we've tagged that, and we've got the inverse head and shoulders pattern that's been created as well that tagged the target. And I remember relaying all this to you way back down then, and everyone was like, no way, you're an idiot, there's no liquidity, the macro schmacro war, blah blah blah, all that kind of business. But I was just relaying the data to you. So it's the same data and the same structure that I'm going to respect in this time frame here for the S&P 500 to call a bear market. Because if you take a look, we've had these corrections before. This was around about 11%, I think that was 9%, that was 8%, this was I think 9%, and right now we are in round about a 9% correction for the S&P 500. But the structure is what gives the game away. It's the same thing here. You dropped, you retraced, and then you dropped again, and you start to create this downtrend structure, lower highs and lower lows basically, and we just don't technically see that at the moment to jump up and down and say yes, we're in a bear market, because I think there's a chance here that we're not actually entered a bear market. What we're doing, we're having some kind of correction before the next leg up higher in risk and Bitcoin, S&P 500, XRP, FARTBOY, so on and so forth, and then we enter some kind of big macro bear market. That's been my analysis for a very long time. So if the S&P 500 does go again, and obviously it's a big question, it's a big if, I've not got a crystal ball, but if the S&P 500 does go again, I do think that level there around about 6634 could be the level where we do enter some kind of big macro correction in risk basically, because obviously this thing's not going to go up forever. It is going to begin to retrace. Now if this particular chart has begun a retracement, has begun some kind of bear market that lasts roughly for a year, you're looking for a big drawdown at least at this swing high, okay, and that would be my primary target for the bottom of the correction on this particular chart if it has entered some kind of big macro correction. But just because you've got this drawdown here doesn't necessarily mean it's a bear market. Please respect that, okay? We have to wait for the structure. It is, you can call every single pullback a bear market, but then it continues to go higher, so we've got to be careful here calling a bear market. And I like to relay to you, there's only one trigger point that we saw in crypto that basically called the top, and it was a retail top around about November on the CoinsKid retail top right there. So there's something that happened in the charts yesterday that is forecasting a major move up to the upside and a potential break of these highs. Let's jump into the CoinsKid retail top to see what we can see. So the CoinsKid retail top is an indicator created for the CoinsKid crew. It's a custom indicator. I'll put it onto the website. I'll try and get into TradingView somehow, but I don't quite know how to import external data. And this is something TradingView have to do, because if I could plot this line in TradingView all day long for you, and many things in TradingView that I would like to get in there, you know, buy zone, sell zone, so on and so forth within your charts. So there has to be a way in which you can import external data points into TradingView. So I'll try and figure that out for you, but at the moment I don't think there is. So if you're tech savvy, if you know anything about code and there is a way, please, you know, DM me, reply to me, tweet me or whatever, so I can get these indicators into your TradingView accounts. But if obviously for now, just come to coinskid.com, go to the indicator section, and here it is, basically the CoinsKid retail top. So what is this? Let me go through this with you, okay? So looking at retail top right now, this is an amazing indicator create for yourself. So basically, whenever the blue line triggers the red line, you've got a window of opportunity, and this is something we looked at, and this is confluence of the fact that on that particular day, go back to the videos, I was converting my Bitcoin into XRP. I think XRP was trading around about 60 cents or something. Bitcoin was around about, what was that, 85k. So Bitcoin basically from that trigger point has come back to where it is right now. It's trading roughly the same area, but XRP's way above. So the conversion from Bitcoin into XRP was a fantastic decision by myself, and this is something that every single trigger point on a retail top, losing this red dotted line is, your get out of Bitcoin card into, XRP or, altcoin card basically. So I was looking at XRP as the opportunity, because obviously we cover XRP in the channel, and there was something that was going on with XRP on that particular time frame as well, which was confluence my analysis. Okay, this is a fantastic trade setup here, guys, and I executed that trade with yourselves, and it was an amazing trade. Okay, so basically on XRP we had got our ass back above a 20-week EMA, and on the CoinsKid ribbon, the daily ribbon, we were printing a green buy dot on November the 12th with a confluence of this breaking down below the red dotted sell line. That was confluence to my analysis. Okay, I'm converting my Bitcoin in. I got a lot of hate, a lot of stick, but it was an amazing trade, because Bitcoin come up, roughly tapped out up here, 20% plus. XRP did multiples, and it's still multiples up from my basically conversion, so it's doing really well. But Bitcoin has come right back to where it was, basically, if not lower. I think, where are we right now? We're around about 81k or something for Bitcoin, 83k. So it's literally right at the same point on the trigger point in November the 12th, but XRP is in multiples above that. So what a trade. It was an amazing trade, and I think these times will come again, and I think that this retail top indicator will give us an opportunity again. So whenever we start to see this red dotted sell zone basically triggered where we lose it, it's an opportunity, it's a window of opportunity. And like I said to you at the time, I think roughly within a month we should see some kind of correction kick in for Bitcoin, and we have literally December the 17th right there, literally a month after the trigger point, we've entered this correction. And I actually think we've been in a correction for Bitcoin and crypto risk basically since December, and I've shown a confluence to that particular analysis. And I think that this move up by XRP and Bitcoin into January, where we made all-time highs here for Bitcoin and made new local highs for XRP, is actually a B-wave bull trap, and the confluence is in the V-chain chart and Cardano chart, Ethereum chart, so on and so forth. So I actually think from that point right there, this is some kind of A into a B, a bull trap B, which is an expanded flat correction, and then boom, we're in the C wave. So we're coming down the stairs right now. So we're looking to bottom out down here, and then we start to come back up the stairs in what is either a retracement before another drop, or the breakout to the upside. And this was just simply a big ABC zigzag correction before continuation of the highs right there. So time will tell, but at the minute I just think we're possibly caught in some kind of expanded flat correction since December. I think the local high on XRP is a bull trap, okay, and like I relay to in XRP videos, lose at $2.50. I think we're in a C wave and it's going to get nasty, so we still could see lower lows here for XRP, so stay tuned for them video updates. But there is a clue right now in an indicator like create for yourselves that we've got a major move up because of something we've seen in that particular indicator. So I'll go through that with you in the Bitcoin chart. But this particular indicator, now historically, whenever we start to see this dumb money line, okay, the blue line, which is basically dumb money, as it approaches the market and gets involved, this is where typically we do start to see some kind of correction kick in, okay, and it just there, almost lost it again. What's happened? Boom, you got your correction. We move to the left. I think last March, if you look at that, it was starting to approach the red dotted sell zone. March, come up, a couple of weeks later, boom. From March last year, we entered that big sideways, boring, horrible correction where people thought we'd entered the bear market as well. So if we move to the left, there has been, and this is the concerning thing, I think the last time we did actually trigger this, You know, way back here, I think it was October, then literally a month later, we did enter that big macro correction right there for Bitcoin, okay? So historically, whenever we do start to see this blue line, which is your dumb money, show up to the market, we do enter some kind of big macro correction, okay? So possibly in time, if we have entered that big macro correction, we do start to print, you know, the bearish market structure within the S&P 500 within itself, to the bigger clue of risk being, you know, off the table basically for the time being, then the retail top is the boss basically. So just there, November 2017, literally a month later, Bitcoin's topping and then it's dropping, and then retail, basically your dumb money is buggering off, okay? And then as it starts to plateau at the top and dumb money is like, oh no, I don't want to know about it, I've been scammed again and things like that, this is where the opportunity is. You know, you're flatlining right there. So basically at the moment there is a possibility, if we was to respect this data, you know, the trigger point a month later, Bitcoin into some kind of big macro correction, absolutely possible, you know, but in time it, you know, it will be revealed if the structure, the bearish structure, the lower highs, the lower lows in the S&P 500 starts to reveal itself, and obviously Bitcoin, then okay, this is the best indicator I've ever created for yourselves, and we will pay attention to this going forward, okay? So what is the thing that's potentially telling us, okay, right now, ignore this indicator, this is not called a bear market, ignore this indicator, what is the thing that's telling us right now we're looking at a new, brand new high here in the likes of XRP, FARTBOY, VeChain, Cardano, Bitcoin, so on and so forth? It's the crystal ball. Let me show it in the Bitcoin chart right now, okay? But respectfully, what an indicator this is, okay? And again, in time, you know, when this starts to approach the red line again and pierces it, I think we'll have a window of opportunity again. So stay tuned for that, okay? Let's dive into the Bitcoin chart, see what we can see. So looking at Bitcoin on the 5-day time frame right now, we've got this crystal ball indicator create for yourself, which is based on the global liquidity. What we've done here yesterday, look at this, we've actually broken the all-time high here. So this is trending upwards, yet Bitcoin and crypto and risk is trending down. So it possibly, this particular correlation just here, when we entered a correction in December, pretty much when we did for Bitcoin and the S&P 500, we've got this expanded flat ABC zigzag before a potential reversal and another all-time high here in the likes of the S&P 500, XRP, Bitcoin, FARTBOY, so on and so forth. So what we're looking at is anything that gives us a clue. So the global liquidity left the market way back then in April of 2021. It left the market way back then in March of 2024, and then it left it recently in December of 2024 right there. So every time we've seen this drawdown, we've seen some kind of sideways correction in crypto, and then eventually as liquidity re-enters the market, boom, you're getting your upside, and then eventually Bitcoin is playing catch up, okay? It did it on this bottom here, broke out to the upside, and then look at that beautiful move, correction, beautiful move, correction, beautiful move, correction. But I do think if we was just respect the 5 waves of death for Bitcoin, we are running out of steam here for Bitcoin. You're 1 into your 2, into your 3, into your 4, into your final 5th wave territory right now. So it is my opinion that potentially what we've got from this low is a 1 into a 2, into a 3, into a 4, into a final 5th wave, and this liquidity here, the golden line, your CoinsKid crystal ball indicator, is showing us that this final 5th wave is revealing itself. So we'll keep an eye on the retail top, because if this does start to break out over the next few months and it's, you know, tracking the retail top, which currently it is, it's not deviating from this, okay? If it does break out to the upside, fantastic. But if it comes up, makes a lower high and drops, you know, then we're creating that bearish market structure. And at that point, we have to respect that. And what I'll be looking for on the CoinsKid ribbon on the 5-day time frame, we need to see something like this, where, you know, the liquidity is leaving the market, and then we're getting the red sell dot at the same time. Okay, we currently don't see that, and I think that will be part of the confluence on the 5-day time frame as well. That okay, we're entering some kind of bear market, and at that point we'll project lower and we'll look for buyback zones, possibly on this high here. We broke out and never back tested it. Roughly the 30k level will be my projection if we do start to see, you know, the liquidity leaving the market, and obviously the breakdown below the CoinsKid ribbon on the 5-day time frame. So at the moment, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. We may be in for a 2-part retail top indicator here, where we trigger again on the next impulse, okay, and we start to see the dumb money approaching that red dotted sell line again. If we see that in time, then okay, we're in 5-wave territory from the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're coming up in the last leg for Bitcoin. At that point, we should enter some kind of macro correction, and at that point as well, we'll keep an eye on what the S&P 500 is doing. Is it in that 2 fib and the target I gave you earlier in the video? So at the moment, I'm just kicking back, relaxing. I do need to see more structural data and more data points to jump up and down and say, okay, the retail top nailed the top in this market again. But until that day comes, I think we may be in for some kind of 2-part retail top indicator trigger point right there. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed that update. If you are looking to get these indicators into your charts, just go to the CoinsKid.com website and drop them in. Really, really simple process. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back to an update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.